countries. He's a phenomenal individual, and I'm so glad that he's joined us today. Galen, welcome.
Thank you, Marianne. Good to be here and glad to be a part of this great program you've got going.
Well, thank you so much. I couldn't think of a more global company, and in your role overseeing industry relations, you also oversee global activities. You've worked for Halliburton for 40 years, serving in multiple capacities, and we are just so thrilled that you could join us today. And I know you're a busy man with all your work with numerous industry, trade associations, and civic boards. I do want to say thank you for being a member of the World Affairs Council Board of Directors.
Thank you. It's a pleasure, and it's great to always visit with you and all of our World Affairs Council members and those that participate. I've been with Halliburton now 45 years, so I'm
45.
picking up. Maybe this year is going to count as more than one. I don't know. I'm heading into 46 years, and boy, they've been great years. Halliburton is such a terrific company to work with, and it's just been a pleasure being a part of that. I've only known this industry in that time and only this one company, so I guess I'm not very diverse in my background, but I do love the industry, and I love the company, and love being able to serve it and the industry in the way that I've been able to do.
Well, I want to remind everybody to submit your questions to Galen. We'll try to work them into our conversation, but let's start out. Here in Houston, Galen, we've seen a lot of oil and gas companies come and go, get acquired, shrink, merge, do all kinds of things. Tell us a little bit about the unknown history about Halliburton and how you see the culture adding to the longevity and success of the company.
All right, thank you. I'll be always glad to share that. Halliburton, as you said, has been around 100 years, and every year is a new year for Halliburton. It started in 1919 by a man named Earl P. Halliburton. Not only he, but his wife, Vida, they were a couple, a married couple that for the first 5 years, they worked together. She did most of the office administration. So our company was really founded on a man and wife that had that entrepreneur spirit. In fact, for the first cementing job that they did, she had to hawk her wedding ring in order to pay for the equipment to go out on job location. So we start from humble beginnings, and I'm sure if Earl P. Halliburton was around today, he wouldn't recognize the company that works in over 80 countries and has 50,000 employees and with 140 nationalities as part of our workforce. So it's been a great history and one we're really proud of. Of course, the challenges is always, the past 100 years has been a lot of ups and downs and a lot of exciting times. And I've been through 7 downturns with the industry, and now we're in another one. And so the real key is how do you adapt and survive for another 100 years? And Halliburton, I believe, is just very well positioned for that, as we are very grounded in what our mission is and what we do for our clients and how we see the future.
Well, you are just a multi-global company, significant operations around the world. Tell us a little bit about your most recent and active work, and what areas in the world are you working internationally?
Yeah, well, about 50% of our business is U.S. It changes, and 50% international. We work in every oil and gas producing area in the world. We're one of the largest oil service supply companies in the world, providing services to IOCs, NOCs, and independents. We're the largest service company, oil field service company in the United States. So we operate in some of these countries for over 75 years. So we're not new to a lot of the countries that we work in. I would say that 25% of our work is in the Middle East, Asia, about 15% is Europe, Africa, CIS, 10% Latin America. So we have a large office, second corporate office in Dubai. Our main corporate office, of course, is here in Houston, but our Eastern Hemisphere office is in Dubai. And we perform services for offshore, on land, mature fields, conventional, unconventional. So we have a variety of customers and customer types in various countries that we work in. And our international work now, we're especially glad to have, because as the U.S. shale business is declined a little bit this year through the pricing structures we've seen, and from COVID, international continues to support us very well, and we're excited to be in all those markets and have a very strong presence there.
Well, you touched on it briefly. How has this massive decrease in demand impacted the industry, impacted Halliburton, maybe kind of overall?
It's impacted everybody in the world, not just our industry, of course, but we kind of had a double whammy, they call it, with the COVID starting this year, and then with the oil and gas price challenges that have been created. You look at the gas and oil prices today. Oil prices today are 40 or even lower. So we're working in a new environment where we've had to scale our business, how we've had to adapt not only our workforce, but the way that we do business so that we can respond to our customers in different ways, provide maximum value at the lowest cost per barrel. So that's always our challenge, is how do we continue to develop technologies and services that are the top of the line and be able to respond quickly as our customers require all around the world, and do it in a very cost-effective way. So the new price environment, and of course the challenges that COVID has presented to us. As you know, when it came along, we did what every other company did. We never thought we'd be working from home, didn't know how we had the capabilities to. We did that as everyone else has done, and it's working very well. We're able to be interconnected globally, and we're going to work as necessary. Of course, our commuters that work around the world have adjusted some of their schedules. And so we've definitely limited the amount of travel that we do as a company, and working from home. And then when it comes to our plant and facilities, we've had to limit, the number of visitors there, and we do the temperature checks and health declarations. And of course, our field operations, they go on day in and day out. We have not missed a beat when it comes to providing services on the ground. And that's a real testament to our workforce that's committed to providing these great services in some very, very difficult environments, as you can imagine. So we've been pretty amazed at how well we've been able to adapt, not just our company, but others along. And we're thankful for these platforms that we have where we can talk, like we are right now. I was on a meeting the other day where we had, this is in conjunction with the World Petroleum Congress, but on our call like this, we had officials from Russia, from China, from the Middle East, from Latin America, of course, the US, all talking live, communicating, thank goodness, in English, something we never would imagine we could do just a few years ago.
Well, you might have just touched on it a little bit, but with such a diverse company spread all over the world, what's the secret to Halliburton successfully managing its international operations?
Yeah, I think there's a common culture that we have. Being 100 years old, it's important to have that culture that starts at the top. Jeff Miller is our chairman and CEO. He just does a terrific job of creating that culture. We are a collaborating company. Our mission is we collaborate and engineer solutions to maximize the asset value for our customers. Everybody in the company can say what I just said there. That is our mission. It's important to us. And we come together every year. We have a big event that takes place typically where we bring in the top management, 1,000 from around the world. We call it Hal Academy. We set the stage early in the year. Everyone gets aligned. It's a very diverse group from all the countries. Half have never been to this Halliburton Academy before. A large percentage are women. Many are half are from outside the United States. So it's a very diverse company that we work with, and our cultures, we embrace them because we work differently in this country than we do in other countries, and that's the way it should be. And we have local management. We have over 90% in almost all of our countries where it's local nationalities that are leading and working and driving our business there. And that has really helped us during COVID, because we weren't having to send expats all over the world to work in local environments to run and operate our business, because we already have that in place. So thank goodness for the diversity of our company, and thank goodness for the employees that we have that are so committed to living up to the reputation that Halliburton has in our culture.
Well, we have a question come in. The question is, I know it's impossible to forecast, but do you have models for how long it might take for global demand to get back close to the levels of 2019?
Okay, well, that's a great question and very tempting question. I wish I knew the answer to that. If I did, I think as a general rule, most everyone in the industry thinks, this year we've seen the declines. we hope that demand will start to pick up starting, through the fourth quarter, early next year. As that demand picks up, and we see that our supply side is being impacted right now. There's less drilling going on in the United States, of course, and around the world. So there are decline curves that relate to the reservoirs that we work in. And so when the demand and the supply side crossover, whenever that will take place, I'm hopeful it'll be accelerating next year. And it probably should, then all of our companies that are surviving this will be in a good position to really take advantage of bringing the industry back as it to its former glory days, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. A related question, all of us have had to transition and change the way we work, live, play. What has been the effects of COVID-19 on Halliburton?
Well, one of the things it's done, I think it's really helped us accelerate some of the things we already had in place, and that's the digital aspect of our company, the digitalization of the industry. It's really been accelerated because of just out of the need that has been created. And now, as we go into that, when we talk about digital, it's it's not something necessarily new. It's something that we've been doing, but it's been accelerated. We call it Halliburton 4.0. It's the way we work. It's a digital framework. It permeates all aspects of our company. It transforms the way we work with our customers. And our industry and our company deals with a lot of data. When you think about the data we deal with, that is reservoir data, subsurface, surface, and such, then example last year that I heard is just our company alone updated and uploaded more data in 1 year than 100 years of Netflix videos being uploaded. So that's just 1 year. As you can imagine, and that's always been the case. We've had all this data and information. Now, successful companies are the ones that are really being able to take that data, work with it, and work with the cloud, and provide the insights that we need to connect all parts of our business so that we can streamline what we do faster, better, cheaper.
Yeah, absolutely. And so many of us have faced hard decisions. How is Halliburton positioning itself for the long term?
Well, I think, we're all positioning ourselves and always have been positioning ourselves for the long term. Of course, you have to meet your quarterly expectations, and then that's a balance with where you are in the long term. But we are a committed oil field service company. We're not ashamed of the business that we're in. In fact, we're very proud to be in the oil and gas business for the things that it does. And of course, we provide all kinds of wealth around the world, human flourishing. Our industry is something that we can't do without. We know that we're in an energy transition, and our industry's always been in an energy transition. So this next one may be faster. No one knows how fast it will take place, but even best projections in someone's next career, the next 30, 40, 50 years, oil and gas are going to play an extremely important part of that. And with that, then the goal is always to make our industry the cleanest, most affordable, most reliable source of energy, so it can compete and also supplement the renewables. And some of the other things we're doing too is relating to the future is, with all the new things that are taking place and how do we play in this new environment. We've set up what's called Halliburton Labs this year. And this is where we are inviting special startup companies to come in, apply. We have these huge labs around the world, a large one in Houston, that we can accommodate with these facilities, companies that want to really be able to develop their products and services, and we help them secure funding, commercialization. We provide our labs, our expertise, our business network, and then we get to have a piece of the business. So it's a great entree for Halliburton to looking in the future to see some of the best and the brightest and being a part of that and using our current labs and facilities to help facilitate that. So Halliburton Labs is something we've just started this year and created, and it's really off to a great start.
Well, you've answered about 2 questions in one answer, so thank you very much.
We talk a lot about clean energy, and it's very important, and it's something that the industry has been focused on. We only operate because we can provide our services the most clean environmental way. And some of the other things that people may not be aware of that Halliburton does that we're involved with, that besides just oil and gas services and service supply, is the geothermal energy. We've been involved with that for over 40 years. And it applies a lot of the same technologies that we use for oil and gas. But the Earth generates quite a bit of heat from the Earth's core, and we can capture that and take advantage of it. Water management, of course, is a huge issue around the world. We've been very much involved in working with our operators on minimizing the amount of water and how we use water. And then probably top of mind is carbon capture and storage. I think that's going to be a big answer to some of the CO2 environmental issues. Is how do we really capture CO2, place it back in the ground, and do it in a very cost-effective way? And of course, the technology that's used to do that, understanding the reservoirs, placing the CO2 in subsurface again is something that we have a lot of expertise in and that we're working on and developing. And we've been involved with that for 40 years too, so we have a lot of expertise. It's not new.
Well, I know that you are on the cutting edge of technologies. I'm so excited about this Halliburton Labs. It's a really great place for entrepreneurs to get together. Where do they go to get more information about that?
You can go to our website. It's very publicized there, and you can click there and see how to reach the right contact people for that and how you can make application. We're open to seeing the best and the brightest, and working with those that qualify to and makes good sense to just map out our future.
Well, I know Halliburton again has, is far ahead in most things, and you've always been a strong believer in community support, not only here in Houston but around the world, working with nonprofits and global education such as the World Affairs Council, but with many others. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about the company's work with the Houston Open, which is just around the corner. So much that goes on that behind the scenes that Halliburton is a part of.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. It normally is behind the scenes. We don't brag about this. We do it because it's the right thing to do. And we work with all of our communities globally around the world. Houston, especially since we have such a large workforce here. We have over 3,000 employees here, and we contribute over $2 billion back to the community and investment into our vendors and suppliers. But as far as the community relations and what we're doing there, we focus on education, environment, health and safety, social service. One of the things we do each year is have our Halliburton annual golf tournament. Been doing it for over 20 years. One of the most recent years, we generated $4 million, all going back to local charities and large contributions. These are tremendous ways to work with charities, and we change the charities every year. And so it's a great way of giving back to our community. And of course, we have a big employee workforce, so the volunteer hours are there. We're involved with the Houston Open, as you mentioned, not only as a sponsor, but in providing volunteer time for that. That's coming next week. We're excited about it, to be back in the center of town at Memorial Park golf course right before the Masters. So it's going to be a great event. There'll be a few spectators there, but not like we'll see in the future. And then we're a big partner with the Astros. So we're a community partner. If you go to the games, you see the signs of community partners that are out there. Halliburton has been that since the beginning of that program. And then we provide a lot of sponsorship opportunity for local communities where boys and girls want to play baseball. We have the Halliburton Field out there that's been managed now in a very diverse neighborhood where these young kids can really learn some skills and be involved in sports in a neat way. And then of course we're involved with a lot of charitable organizations, nonprofits. I spend a lot of time on that. Spindletop Charities is one that gives $1 million a year to children's charities. And I could just go on with what companies what our company is doing, what the nonprofits that we work with are doing. Even OTC, I'm on the board of OTC. We give a charitable component for that every year. So we're excited to be a part of the community. We want to reinvest our dollars not only in payroll, but in volunteer service and in contributions that are meaningful to charities that we work with.
Well, Galen, it's been such an honor to learn more about Halliburton, and even more an honor to have you on our board and get the opportunity to collaborate and work with you with the World Affairs Council. Any final words you'd like to leave us about Halliburton and your work there?
Well,
Maybe it's 40 years.
probably talked enough about how it's always great to talk about your company, one that we're so proud of, the people. It's all about the people. And same with the World Affairs Council. I've been involved with the World Affairs Council for 22 years. I went and looked up the first board meeting I went to was 22 years ago. Linda Weiss, at that time, she was our president and kind of a one-woman show, a very small board. And what the World Affairs Council has done over the years, the speakers that have come through our town that we've had exposure to, and our young students that they've had exposure to. So I can't say enough great things about the World Affairs Council. It has really been a tremendous benefit to Houston. We are the most global, international city in the world. We are a city that gets along. And I think the thing I'm most proud of when I was involved with I am involved with the World Petroleum Council, which is coming next December to Houston. It's the Olympics of the oil and gas shows. So it's a big deal. It took us 10 years to get it. But what I'm most proud of on that is in the bid process, which took 10 years, we worked with everyone, the Greater Houston Partnership, Houston First, the Consular Corps, the trade associations, Houston Airport, just so many great organizations, and the mayor played a big part of that. It's great to see this city come together. And I know the World Affairs Council also helped promote it. But it really is great to see that this city come together, because when we set our mind on something in this city, things happen. And that's why I believe Houston has a hugely bright future. I believe our industry has a great future too. We are the energy capital. We're going to continue to expand on that. And being the diversity that we have in this town, it's going to be a huge strength in competing with other cities around the world.
Well, everyone go to your website. And Galen, it's been my pleasure. Thank you for taking the time out of your very busy day. Halliburton is such a great community, citizen-focused organization. We look forward to even stronger partnership in the future. To everyone watching, thank you for submitting your questions. Everyone stay safe, stay healthy. Have a great weekend. Thank you again, Galen.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Take care.
Bye-bye.